Hi everybody, this is Hero back with another Dragonfly video. And in this video I want to make a brief plug for a spec that I think is going to be very strong in 10.1, and I'm here on the PTR with Destruction Warlock. So doing some testing of its AoE capabilities. We had Mythic Zakali and Mythic Neltharion testing. And Zakali is essentially a giant AoE fight with big soak mechanics that really favors one of the profiles that Destro is good at. And then Echo of Neltharion revealed that our single target, even though it's turreted, is quite strong. So I don't anticipate there being significant nerfs coming Destro's way. This is always the difficulty of trying to predict which specs are going to be very good. But it seems like there won't be, because they've tied our tier set to Channel Demonfire, which has a number of awkward pieces to it, and I don't think that they will want to take away the skill expression that's centered on, especially in single target, operating as a turret spec. What I mean by that is you can't move very easily or you will lose a lot of damage as Destruction Warlock. So you have to plan out very carefully all of your movement skills, whether it's gates, whether it's Burning Rush, whether it's your portals, to be effective and to be always on target. Channel Demonfire obviously is a channel spell. It also interrupts the flow of our gameplay with Chaos Bolts and Incinerates, both of which are casted. We only have Conflag to sort of fit in between, and it doesn't really get us very far. So those pieces mean that on the single target side, it's very unlikely that we get any nerfs for Destro Lock. I mean, they could still come through, but we have our brother, the Demo Lock, who's typically taken up the slot of the single target monster in raiding. So it's almost like a shield that we can use as Destruction Warlocks to say, hey, if you're going to nerf us, take a look at Demo. It's obviously doing way more crazy stuff than us. But you also have this bizarre power in AoE, which I'm showcasing a little bit in the background here. And all of these things are despite the fact that Channel Demonfire as a tier set isn't super strong, meaning it's not offering you like 15 or 20% extra damage. It's really within an average range and probably could even be buffed as a tier set compared to some of the other tier sets that we see. All this means that it's my recommendation that if you want to play one of the top tier specs going into 10.1, you should consider Destruction Warlock. Now, single target, you're probably going to feel a little awkward if you don't like the turret style, or if you hate ranged gameplay in general. Obviously, steer clear. But for those of you who maybe have toyed with Warlock a little bit or play other casters and are interested in seeing what's good, Destro Warlock, in my mind, is sort of in a good position in the race, if you'd like, to vault itself into a great position, because it's unlikely to get significant nerfs and its tier set is not really out of control. So those two pieces are pretty valuable. You can see in the background the flexibility on the AoE side is pretty immense. You're mostly casting Rain of Fires. You can almost avoid entirely casting even Incinerates. In Pax and Mythic Plus, you can just immolate into your window. You can do a number of variations on this, whether it's using Infernal to reduce the cost of Rain of Fires, whether it's just having some Shadow Burn accessibility if you'd like, or Havoc window stuff. This is a version that doesn't even have Havoc on the talent tree. So you can see right across the board for talent setups, there are many options that give you tons of flexibility from a Mythic Plus perspective and in big AoE encounters like the Assault of Zakali. Now, would I recommend not running Havoc on a Destro Lock in Mythic Plus? No, of course not, but I'm here to do kind of weird testing and see what comes up. So the main takeaway, guys, is that Chaos Incarnate is completely mandatory next tier. I cannot see any gameplay, whether single target or AoE, that doesn't include Chaos Incarnate. Obviously, Madness of Azjakir is really good in AoE as well, but the thing that makes Chaos Incarnate really quite strong is that our mastery scaling is pretty high, so you can expect to have a baseline of 70% mastery. If you index into it even a little bit, once you start hitting higher item levels, this is only 418, and it's heavily invested in versatility in this video, so because of the PvP gear on. But you can imagine if you're actually geared out and you have 420 gear. If you check out some of Kalamaz's stuff, for example, you'll see him running just a standard loadout, and he's got something like 75% mastery before he even steps into raid. So this makes Chaos Incarnate really strong as a talent, and I would encourage you to begin all of your planning for Mythic Plus setups or single target setups around that ability. It's just too strong. Infernal, there are some plays where you can use it, either the 2-minute version where you get CDR from pressing our spenders, alongside maybe Power Infusion if you can guarantee that you have it and it makes sense in a raid setting or in a Mythic Plus setting because you have a priest. Or even the one that drops all the Infernals, the Reign of Chaos, that actually has some moments of glory in 3-minute settings, but in general it's just much weaker than Blasphemy's consistency and Chaos Incarnate. So we're not really moving away from that in 10.1 in my mind, but it's just becoming stronger due to the scaling. So if you're looking for a really strong spec, guys, I would encourage you to check out Destruction Warlock. It is probably going to be S tier. I'd imagine this is going to be the best spec, range spec to play, because the other ones seem to be a little out of whack. They're likely to nerf evokers in my mind, and mages seem to be kind of in a weird spot. Destruction Warlock seems in that sweet spot where it's likely not going to get nerfed, and its damage profile gives you so much flexibility. Thanks very much for watching. We'll catch you guys again next time.